I'm going to just pull this up while we're on the subject, and I'm going to write that down for our grub truck, which we should probably move on to if we don't want to make this a 3 hour live stream.
Well,
So
being like Jeff H and I, we just get going and we get going, we get going, and before you know it, it's 3 hours, 4 hours. You know,
it happens when you get that energy, and it's fun when it's especially you feel like that when you have such an active live chat like we do. So thank you for everybody who's participating tonight. It
yeah.
really
Thank you.
is the program.
Heather's in here, so it's good to see you, Heather. We
All
were
right.
asking about you.
Yes, Heather, I hope you saw everything that we were presenting your information, just giving some updates. And so I'm writing down this comment. So when we get to the Grub truck and we look at the where I think she was taking the Be Real app, Silent Murmur says it looked like she was taking a selfie there to get a photo of Jack S behind her, who Maddie told to F off.
Yeah.
And so we'll look at that when we get to the Grub truck. So I do have present my little thingy here again. So I actually wrote down some comments. So Jeff H, sorry, we're kind of doing this off of your page, but Jeff H so kindly lets us use his material, and I'll put a banner up when we get to the actual video. But when I was preparing for this earlier, I actually copied about 7 different comments I thought were interesting with timestamps that I just thought I'd show you guys. But I pulled up this one because I thought this is a nice way to start the Grub truck, because for me, I've never really studied the Grub truck. I'm not trying to add to gossip or bring people's names into something that they're not involved. However, when you think about the Grub truck, you're not being that invasive. This was a known there were 2 live streaming cameras there, and it was in 4, I think. And it was a known place where you'd be seen. And so was publicly viewed stuff on Twitch. So I don't feel that invasive watching the Grub truck videos. So that was one of the reasons I hesitated before. But I think since it's been brought up by Crime Circus and everyone's talking about it, I think it'd be a good night to explore it. So why I said that is I brought up this comment because I think it's a good thing to read before we get started. And remember, these are just kids who are living their best life, who experienced a horrific crime later that night, and this Grub truck might not mean anything. So I'm going to read this comment because I thought it was sweet first. So, wow, this is the best video of the Grub truck I've seen. Awesome work. I've noticed that JJS, or Hoodie Guy, actually appears to wave at the car to M and K got into as he leaves in the other direction. It's really sweet to see them all laughing and having a good time. There was some chemistry between M and the guy in the 9 shirt, in my opinion. Like everyone else is saying, it's hard to believe that they were gone just a couple of hours after this full of life and fun and footage of them. It's in with a heartbreak. It's hard to read too, but I wanted to start out with that because you want to humanize the situation and not just go, with some of the wild speculations allegedly we're about to get into. So
I mean, that's what makes it so hard, Kiki, is I believe that people get so interested in the facts of the case or lack thereof that they forget that 4 people were murdered so violently and so quickly. And we saw the last moments of those 2 lives. And it's tragic to think they were smiling, they were laughing, they didn't seem to be in distress of any kind. You know, Hoodie Guy was right there with them. Whether he was there for other reasons or whatever, he was still there by their side. And I always thought, like when they ran off from him, I thought, just like the world, I guess, I thought, they're wanting to get away from him because they don't want to be around him. They're wanting to go home. They didn't want him to go with them. You know what I mean? So.
well, I mean, there's that, and it wasn't her boyfriend, right?
Right,
So
right.
I mean, yeah, so that's another. Yeah. So what inspired this clip, I actually should show you guys first, is I'm going to put a little screensaver up before I pull this up, because I didn't just come up with this segment on my own. After I did the drip drop video yesterday, one of my subscribers who watches my live streams and sends me clips on Linda Lane sent me a really interesting clip at the Grub truck just to have me take a look at it and say, what do you think of this? Because there's a girl, and this has been talked about quite often. It's a 2-minute clip, and I'll start with that just because he inspired this segment. We'll watch the whole clip because it's interesting, and it goes into Sweater Guy. Are we frozen? Oh, whoa. It goes into Sweater Guy, but there's a girl who many online have speculated is signaling into the camera. And I just thought we'd open with that clip. So let me put a little screensaver up, and I just don't want to dox him online. So let me just pull up his.
Is that
his
even
video.
harsh?
Yes.
Okay. I always wondered who that was.
Yeah, that was a post when we first learned about Enon. He made that post. Okay. Oh, it's a screen recording. Okay, good. Let me see. Let me pause it. Okay. All right, now I can share my screen. So again, thank you to Dean for, why is this not, oh, there we go. So this doesn't have sound, so we'll just watch. Now, if you can see, he has his cursor and he's pointing out what he wanted us to take a look at.
He's in chat. You want to narrate this for us, Jeff?
Should I send a link for Jeff up? Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, let me invite Jeff. Jeff, we're going to your video next. We know you're the king of the Grub truck footage. This was a screenshot sent to me by my buddy. Okay, so keep watching now. You can see Kaylee coming into the screen. Now, one thing I will say is what piqued my interest when he sent this to me is I saw on Neek's Peaks, and I never brought it up because it just seemed like a normal thing to me, not that it should be. But there was so obviously a drug deal going on at the Grub truck. And you see the handoff of the money and this, I mean, you see it. I mean, obviously we don't have x-ray vision, but I mean,
Which one was it?
I didn't have time to go find the Neek's Peaks, but I don't want to point out who it was, but I'll see if I can find it. I'm sure somebody in the chat has seen it too. But so when I heard that, and then my subscriber sent this to me saying they saw somebody signaling, and then I shouldn't get.
See, I thought that one guy put something in Maddie's mouth.
Hey, Jeff. Just then? Was that just then that you saw that?
Number 9. Yeah, right there where they're talking. Like right before that. He put something in her mouth. I mean, it looks that way. I don't know if he did or not.
You know, there's a video on my my channel where I show close up of that, and you can see it's just a receipt that he's handing over to the person.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying it looks like he put something in her mouth, but I don't think.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Sure.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm supposed to be working on something, but I'm listening and trying to work at the same time. Not much work is getting done. You guys are too interesting. I just don't want to miss anything.
I have the exact quote right here. So he says, the girl at the end is looking into the camera located on the side of the Grub truck, yelling, telling someone something in my opinion. And then we went into more details. Hold on, let me go on YouTube. This is a private video between me and Dean. So he says, he's asking me what I thought. Was the girl signaling at the end of the camera? Do I think, do you see the way that Joe and Kaylee was looking at the camera? I just only want to read the relevant stuff. Hold on. The female in the tracksuit got too close to her. There's something in Kaylee's hands.
Yeah, was Kaylee smoking a vape?
Yes,
THC
she was.
vape?
She absolutely was vaping at the end of that.
Yeah.
THC?
Well,
Was that like a cart?
I don't know. We know she went to the vape shop, so we know she did tobacco because they didn't sell THC products at the Grub truck. Jeff, let's pull up your. I actually have a playlist with your video.
Before I forget, I think Drip Drop mentioned, was bringing up the guy with the sweater. I guess sweater guy is what we're calling him now.
Sweater man.
And that was kind of saying that he didn't think that he had a bruise on his head at the Grub truck, but he did during that police body cam. But in my Grub truck video, or I don't like call it my Grub truck, it's just it's the video that's on my channel. It's 16:10. I think you can get a pretty good glimpse where I think I see the bruise there. So I think it's I think he did have the bruise, like he said, because he told the police officer he's had that bruise a while.
Sweater man gate.
Sweater gate.
Charlie Brown sweater guy?
Yeah.
He's a man. Sweater man.
Charlie Brown.
Yep. Slide down more. Excellent. That's a good spot.
Jeff, what is 16 what?
Yeah, 16:10.
Somebody said that was the Dutch Brothers sweater.
One Chipotle. 48.50 for it. Oh yeah, man.
Of course, I zoomed in on a little bit, but I don't think in StreamYard, I don't think you really have the ability to zoom in.
Yep, there it is. You see it?
You see it, right? You see it. I know you see it.
I see, because it's not a shadow, because it's that was funny. Yeah. It's moving. I mean, it doesn't look as much as it is in the picture. I don't know. I never see anything, you guys.
It's hard to see. I mean, it's not great lighting, and there are moments where I'm pretty sure I see it. And unfortunately, when he's over close to the window plate, where they place the order, the only view you get from that camera is like the opposite side of his face as he's walking to where he is now.
I mean, I'd say right about.
But you see, there's a little dark something there on his face. It's not.
Jeff,
and it's right in the exact spot that you can see it in the body cam. So I really think it's. I don't know. I'm thinking.
Jeff H, you're going to tell me that that's a bruise on his forehead when you told me that wasn't a gash on BK's hand? I'm just kidding.
No, that was a shadow.
That was a shadow then, but this isn't a shadow.
I'm almost certain of it.
All right, let's bring it back.
I'm like 90% sure on that one.
Do you have any other close-ups of him that you know off the top of your head?
I mean, there was a moment where I think I punched in to try to get a close-up glimpse of what's his name, Joe Vito's phone, which I think is interesting. I'm convinced that when Joe has his phone, where you can see on his phone, you can see that. I think what Joe is doing is he's taking a video of Sweater Guy's phone. Like Sweater Guy's pulled something up on his phone. Joe is looking at it. So, because as you see Joe move his phone, you can see it move in sync. Like he's definitely got the camera on, and I believe you see Sweater Guy's sweater in Joe's phone. To be honest with you, I can't remember where that happens.
I actually, it's okay because I think I have that timestamp.
Is that in your
fact,
notes?
You'll see when I get there, I actually grab these timestamps off of your page. See, there's your picture right there.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, at one point I was trying to make, like in the description, I was trying to put all these timestamps that people were sharing when they comment on the videos. I tried to, keep up with that, but
Did you say there was a
incomplete.
camera in Joe Vito's Coke can?
Oh yeah, 4K camera, 4K
all
infrared.
right, guys, let's get serious. We're doing some
Makes
serious
cilantros turn green.
Okay.
All right, so this is what I wanted to show first. So, you know, we had 12 and I had been talking about the Be Real app, and we were talking about this picture, and we were talking about this
21
picture
is where
and this.
2105 is where he does the camera.
Oh, let me write that down. We'll get that in
Yeah.
a second. 21.
A little before.
Okay, 21. I'll put 21. Oh, I'll put 21. Yep, we'll get to that in a sec. And then, but so I want to show you this because if you, so some people have suggested it's a selfie, but it just maybe those of you who have used the Be Real app, look at it again. I think that that's what's going on. But then again, the thing we also want to look at that was commented from the live chat is it looks like she's taking a picture of Jack behind her. So let's look and see what we can surmise from this.
She could be FaceTiming with somebody, showing a live image of Maddie, and maybe saying, "Look how lit Maddie is. She's drunk. Look at this." And
yeah.
so maybe it's not even a picture, which is unfortunate because if she's not taking a picture, because I don't think it never saves any FaceTime session, right?
No.
Nobody's looking at them, so I mean, they're looking at each other talking.
Yeah. Who knows?
The
Maybe
only
she's
one
on the
looking
phone
at
with Jack.
Joe.
Joe was a little.
Isn't she smiling and laughing like she's smiling and laughing at how silly Maddie is being for the person who maybe she's on the phone FaceTiming with. Because she'd be able to see Maddie on her phone as well as the person she's FaceTiming with, right? You see both your own camera and the camera of the person you're FaceTiming with. So.
No, I think that's a really great guess too. Here, let's take a look at it and see what you guys think in the chat.
And she's kind of holding the phone there for a while, so it's
definitely garlic. We'll add chicken to it. Anything else for you?
And then
but we should see if she answers a call or makes a call to somebody else.
That's a good. Yeah, that's what we should be looking for.
We're doing death by garlic with chicken. 5 chicken.
Yeah, see, maybe the phone rang there. She's answering it now. Like, oh yeah, look. I don't know. I've always assumed she was taking a picture, but that looks like she might have answered her phone for some
I don't know. I think that you're right.
This looks like she's looking at a picture.
It seems like she was taking a picture behind her.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. I do. I think that does look kind of like it. But then again, perfect angle is she's trying to hit Maddie's perfect angle too. Who knows? Maybe she was trying to get the Grub truck in the shot too. But
and the guys in the Grub truck are going to be up higher because they're up in the truck. So she would be pointing the phone upward. Maddie's low in the foreground of the shot, and the Grub truck guys are high in the background. Not necessarily high, but they probably could have been.
Too bad we can't see that window in the background. You could see I'm not being funny here. You could see the reflection of the phone and see what she was doing. See if she was pointing it at anybody or pointing at Jack.
we'll go back one more time, and then we'll look at those other timestamps. We'll go to the 21 timestamp Jeff just mentioned.
When I put this video together, it was really sad. This moment here where I decided I'm gonna just get a close up, and because when you're watching the 4 images, you don't really focus on just this moment between the two of them. And I think somebody left some comments on the YouTube channel. It's like this was really, really just started to bring tears because it's it's just
yeah, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And that's why I really wanted to open with that first comment that I put up. And I don't know if you saw it, Jeff, but it is. I think anyone who's watching it feels very surreal because we're watching, 2 people living their best life and with so much promise and hope. And just hours later, we know what happened. It's very surreal. All right.
And was wondering if I was going too slow and you're going to switch it back. And I was really scared of that. That's what I was scared of. Nope.
yes, let them fear.
You guys know.
Did you see Kaylee motion to the left?
Which is.
Can you back that up a little bit?
Absolutely.
Look, she motioned to her left, and she's kind of moving her neck to the left.
I mean, that was a solid rush. It's a good thing that it ended, but This is Friday, Saturday in a row. They got you down round 1. So
Right.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot, guys.
Guess she's gonna fucking do that just hold a second. This bad boy.
Tebow's thinking to himself, if I start slowing down on Meg, maybe I'll get to sit down. He's gonna try to sabotage me.
I actually was wondering if I was going too slow and going to
Right
switch
there.
back. And I'm really scared of that.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I was scared of. Nope.
Yes, let them feud.
You guys like the height.
Yeah, is that like a head gesture motion? So like, I think Jack thinks he's coming home with me, but I don't. I'm not. I don't see him that way. You know.
Oh no.
All right. So you said right to 21. Let's see.
Yeah,
So
you got
let's-
it right there. Yeah, it's right in that neighborhood.
All right. So why don't you set this one up for us? What are we looking at, Jeff?
Yeah, no, so what I think I see is when Joe switches his phone to camera mode, I think you can see he's taking either a snapshot or some video from Sweater Guy's phone. And as he moves his phone, you can see the background move as if, yes, that's truly the camera turned on. And I think I could make out like the Sweater Guy sweater in the image on Joe's phone. This is going from memory. I haven't looked at this spot in a while, but that's what I remember.
Should I just hit it frame by
Yeah,
frame, or should I hit play?
No, just hit it play and see, because you'll see the phone. The phone will move as if I think it's a live camera. Because everybody was saying, "Oh, he's watching all the victims getting killed on the live stream." Like this is a big sporting pay-per-view event or something. It's like, really? Okay. You see
But I mean,
it. I know you see it.
part of it is, Jeff, is that people really have strong passions about these alternative theories, and I mean, I think exploring it is a good way for people to really see with their own eyes what's going on. Like I understand, I don't
Yeah,
think
no, I
silly.
agree. I agree.
know?
Yeah, no stone left unturned, but I think at some point you have to kind of question a little bit, like, what are the what's the probability of this, and then talk about that. Because if you don't talk about it, then you really do at some point. I think you believe that is true, and then you pass it on to others, and it hasn't really been thought through fully. I don't think. I mean, not saying it's not impossible, but it just seems like if you have just 5 people that have signed up for a pay-per-view to watch these people be like unalived, you don't think one of them is going to just get to say, this is wrong. I should tell somebody. I mean, and they're talking about a big, large group of people over there by the Grub truck, all enjoying watching somebody. I mean, how much hatred can you have for a person that you want to say, look, oh, there they go, they're gone now, or I don't know. It just doesn't seem probable.
I'm not exploring that theory right now, but I mean, what I don't want to do is discourage people in the chat from leaving your timestamps of things you want us to explore. We're not going to, discourage anyone if you have something you want to explore. Like, part of it is this is great because then like people can like Jeff, who studied this footage for a long time, can give his 2 cents and help debunk or help to understand those scenarios. But I just encourage anyone who does have something that they want us to check out, go ahead and leave this timestamp in there. There's no question that's stupid. There's no speculate. We're here to speculate. And if you have it in the back of your mind and you bring it up, maybe we can debunk it or bring up good points, like Jeff said. Like,
Right.
Let's be realistic about this. Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I just want to know before we play this, I'm not trying to. That's not what I'm looking for. I just wanted to see what it was on his phone.
Yeah, and I agree that all opinions are valid and everything should be discussed, and in that all opinions are valid, that even when those that disagree, like for those that come to me and say, I think there's like 15 people over there against the wall near the Grub truck that are all watching the a couple of the victims. Obviously, just a couple of victims because Kaylee and Maddie are right there, but maybe Ethan and Xana, they're watching them be unalive back at the house on closed circuit cameras. But I think it's okay then. That's okay to put it out. That's your idea at the moment and the thought, and let's just think it through. It's like, okay, what's the possibility of that many people being that evil, that hateful, that uncaring of somebody losing their life, not having an ounce of like, maybe if they apologize tomorrow, I would forgive them and I would feel differently about them and I wouldn't want them unalived. It just, so I think what's beautiful is when you can have the conversation with, I have this idea, but then this person has a total disagreement. You should be able to talk about that. And if if this happens on what is this? It was a Wednesday night. We have a disagreement. You know what? The goal should be that we can still talk about it tomorrow night and the next night, and without with like no hatred of each other, no like animosity. It's like we hug it out. We say we agree to disagree. I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's cool, man. We'll continue this. Put a pin in it. We're going to continue this conversation, this friendly conversation of disagreement. That's a beautiful thing. But it's when it's like, that's a stupid idea, and I hope I didn't come across that way. I just think I can't see that many people being that evil, hateful, and loving of murder, to the point it's like this. I mean, can you imagine that? Can you imagine like, hey, there's a guy walking down the street. Hey, you're missing this. Come over here and check this out. I mean, I could understand if it's a football game. It's like, look, they got 5 minutes left in the game. I think the Chiefs are going to win.
I totally understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but you have to also, what I've come to understand from my viewers and the people that answer these questions, they're not coming from thin air.
Of what looked like a fight club over at one of the buildings. But the thing is, it's like when I watched it, I thought, wait, everybody painted the fight club as being like, this is where the genesis of where somebody losing their life comes from this. But the fight that I saw, it looked like it was safe. It looked like there was somebody saying, okay, stop, break it up, like trying to keep it safe. It's just a circle of people, and these guys are just boxing and having a good time. I didn't see. Now, granted, I have to assume that was the fight club, that it truly, and I do believe it. Yes, it is truly from Moscow, because I remember somewhere I could find it. I got the guy's YouTube channel, and earlier in the video, I think they're in a car and they're talking about the university and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, I saw a fight club type of thing that seemed to be, everybody's kind of into it, but it's not like fight to the death. It's just like sparring. When the guy starts punching and the guys get obviously losing, they break it up,
Yeah, and 12, just to finish what I was just want to add one more thing. When you asked me if I think there was a fight club, I'm saying, do I think that a fight club led to the 4 unalivings? My answer, I want to clarify. What I meant is, I don't believe that these unalivings came from a fight club. But I don't say that I don't not believe in fight clubs, and I definitely heard of fights going on that night. And if I were like fresh on this case, and I was going with just like the first, just witness what people were saying, like word on the street, we do know that there was a confrontation and a fight that night at the fraternity involving one of the victims, and verbally involving a second one of the victims. So, and there was a roommate who was present in the house during the homicide at the fight. So, I mean, it's not that I think that was the cause of it. I can see where it's not out of the realms of possibility. If you were fresh looking at the case, just trying to figure out what happened, one of the victims was in a fight that night in a group setting. So, I mean,
The reason I asked that is because, when they were talking about the 400 witnesses, I mean, instantly people were attaching, there was 400 people watching this fight club. So that's why I was asking that, is because that's where people were attaching that. They were saying, well, there was 400 people watching this fight that led to what eventually happened. So that's why I asked you that. And that's where the 400 witnesses, the 400 questionnaires, all that stuff, it's like people put all that together, and after a while, you have to ask yourself analytical questions sometimes. If you're able to do that, is that possible? If 400 people keep a secret?
No. Jeff, do you think the 400 witnesses could have been 400 people? What are your take on the 400 witnesses? Just like to know your organic thoughts on that.
I'm trying to remember now. The 400 witnesses was mentioned where
In a
You're
hearing
hearing.
in the
by
hearing?
Ann Taylor. And she said she had to go through 400 witnesses, and we were all kind of like, what? And then again, now 12 is reminding me that's kind of why this Fight Club theory came back into the forefront, is because.
Is that where she was saying the people weren't talking to her? They weren't.
Yes, yes,
Okay, that was during that time.
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to be able to. If she's talking about 400 witnesses she talked to, then how did the 400 number become then the number of people that are watching something like that? Is that what you're saying? That
I mean, maybe people are
can
using
they be?
it.
How can they be both? I don't know. I mean, the other thing too is I think I think all ideas and theories are fine. I mean, what are we? We're not on the jury. We're not. None of us are going to play a role in any of this. The truth will be found out eventually, when the trial happens. So, whatever we think now, I'm sure there's going to be, I don't know, there's going to be anybody that's going to be like, man, I got everything right. Everything that I thought is exactly what happened. I didn't get a thing wrong. I knew what I just knew what she told Adam. I told you that's what she told Adam. Got it all right. Nothing wrong.
Quit spreading my lines. Quit spreading my lines out there, Jeff. I told you about that.
Jeff, are you using somebody else's line?
Which line did
Jeff,
I steal?
I gave you that classified information.
Oh. Well,
No,
I'm often saying, like, if you want to know what I think, just go listen to Daniel at Drunk Turkey Show. So, if I had to be a betting man, I'd be like, okay, I think Daniel will get. Not that this is like something to have a game like this or a prize. Who got who got the most right or anything? It's not a laughing matter at all. I know, but I don't know. But all I'm trying to say is that we're all going to be like right about maybe a couple things. We're going to be wrong about a couple of things, and then there'll be some things that would be shocked. I'm sure that we didn't even think of. It's like, oh man. Like I know everybody I was thinking of at the beginning was like, oh, it's got to be one of the Jacks. It seems logical. It's one of the Jacks. What? They arrested a guy in Pennsylvania? What the heck is going on?
All right, you guys.
Jeff,
I know it's gonna torture you. But
I got some inside information for the YouTube streams. You know
All
what
right.
Jack it was?
What Jack?
Car Jack?
It was
Jack
Jack.
stands at the.
It was Jack, the owner of Jack in the Box.
Ah.
That's what Jack it was.
That was random. All right, we got a new theory. Hey, it's just viable as any other. Oh, thank you for the sweet comments in the chat, you guys. All right, so these are the timestamps I'm going to. Let me show you what I'm going to pull up, and then we'll go ahead and pull up. So at 1:46, we have yes, and again, these are all from Jeff's channel. Give Jeff
these
credit.
comments from people that commented on my channel?
Yes.
I love these people. They comment on my channel. You guys. Are awesome.
Yeah, well,
Oh, Tom Van. You got one from Tom Van. That's my friend. Tom Van is the one who told me about the butt end of the knife being that Marines were trained to use the butt end of the knife like a hammer and a weapon to, and that's where the whole theory in my head to start thinking about them being knocked unconscious first before using the sharp end of the same knife, all started with Tom Van posting a comment about that. So thank you, Tom.
Van is very smart, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. All right, so okay, so I put these in pretty much order. So these are the beginning ones. We have yes. So the first timestamp is 1:46. He's wearing a gray pullover, and a toboggan walks you with a group guys. Is that the word toboggan? I don't know how to spell it. With a yellow on his hood. There was a video that shows blood on both shoes, and he looks suspect. And then I'm starting to think BK isn't the killer because of at 532, that dude in the tank top and the shorts is complete madman. LOL. Jesus. That sounds like bubbly waters. Just saying. Then this person says, your boy, Tommy Van says, I noticed that at 8, that woman people think is Xana actually talks to Apple Pay, and her voice is very different from Xana. So we're going to look at that. And then at 8:47, somebody says, that is not Xana. Her overall silhouette is very similar, but her face structure is very different. And then we have an end timestamp we'll get to. So the first one I'm going to do, let's go to 146. Oh, whoops, I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry. 146. Uh-oh, you guys. Am I like losing my stream energy? And, oh my gosh.
What are you losing?
What are we looking at? I said my stream energy. What are we looking at again? So we're looking for, yes, you are right. The time 146, he's wearing a gray pullover with toboggan walks with a group of guys with a yellow on his hood. And there's a video that shows blood on both shoes. He looks suspect. Okay. So wait, which guy? The yellow hoodie guy? With the toboggan sweater? Hold on. You guys help me out with this.
Gray pullover.
Gray pullover.
He must mean something other than toboggan, because a toboggan is a sled. But I think
gray pullover.
It must mean something on his head. At 146.
All right, let's just play it. Here we go. I'll turn the volume up.
Brother, do you want tacos? I got you.
Dude, loser. Insulated pants are the way.
Okay, so I think it was that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a straight back cheese.
I'll do 2 of those.
2? Yeah, you got it, man.
Are you guys doing burritos right now?
Yeah, everything. We got everything. We're not anything. Where floats your boat.
All right, here it comes. So it's a girl, first off. But do you guys see blood?
No. I do see some good motion blur on her feet. Did you notice that 12 gauge? Kind of like the headlights on the gas station camera.
Yeah.
Back up to where her foot goes by, you can see her foot looks like it's twice as long as it is. I think that's the same thing that's happening on the headlights of that gas station car. We back up just a couple more frames. There you go. See, look how long and blurred. That's just motion blur.
But 146 is right here. What the heck are
this girl coming
toboggan ones? Does anybody see blood on anybody? That's what we're looking for. All right. Well,
Now maybe their computer screen is a little dirty in it. You ever sneeze when you're eating something with ketchup? Maybe the ketchup hits the screen and you didn't clean it off. I see blood on the screen. Okay, I'm just joking.
so next we have 532, which this person says this dude is a complete madman. Let's check it out.
Oh my God, I'm so mad right now.
Why?
That live stream that I did earlier, I gave that lady props, and I told my chat that I got that from somebody else. She put a claim on me, and I even emailed her earlier and asking her if she wanted to be on panel to explain it further. I emailed her and detailed that I was planning on using her stuff, and she still.
Well, we can, if you want, we can hang out for a second after the live chat, and I'll tell you more about that. But it shouldn't be anything that bad. I'll talk to you more about it afterwards. Just don't take
Sorry about that.
really fun. And you know what? If worse comes to worse, you'll have me on panel to redo it, so you can teach me about this subject, which I know nothing about.
This just means that you've arrived, 12 gauge. You're somebody. You're making an impact.
I'm snatching the material. All right, so here we go. We're gonna look at the guy that, again, the madman who made this person say Jesus. Here we go.
And then pork tacos.
Oh yeah. How many pork tacos would you like?
Just come with one.
It's one, but they're like 6 to 7 ounce tacos. They're not like small little street tacos. I don't eat 2, 3 is a lot for me.
So one would be fine if I was getting pasta or
Yeah, that's gonna be
I better
almost 2 pounds.
I better get 2.
Okay, you got it.
I got
2 pork tacos. Right on. 1 5 cheese, 1 basil pesto, 2
All right,
pork
so wait,
tacos,
hold on, I'm gonna
$24.50 for
I
it.
heard someone say Jesus. So that must have been
I
part of
didn't
her
see
quote.
who they're talking about.
Well, okay, so she said Jesus, LOL, Jesus. That must have, because I just heard
I think
someone
that's just them saying, that's just their comment, the
say, well,
commenters.
that's what I thought too, but
Yeah.
I heard Jesus. I don't know, you guys. Let's try 532 one more time. Tell me if you see the madman that drove this person to bring Jesus into it. We'll go back. We'll go 2 seconds ahead of
That dude in the tank top and shorts is a complete madman. Are they just simply saying, like, why is he in the middle of winter wearing tank top
Yeah,
and shorts? Is
I
that all?
think that's
I think
what
that's all they're trying to
I think
say.
that's what they're saying.
Yeah, that is a
'Cause
madman.
Jackass like does the I'm not worthy thing to him. You know, he starts going, I'm not worthy, like doing it
Yeah.
up and down.
All right, let's do it.
Definitely.
I get pesto and then pork tacos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many pork tacos would you
I
like?
think you're right.
Just
That
come
guy's
with
got to be
And I'll
cold.
tell you why I think you're right is because if we go back to exactly the timestamp, which was 5:32, and she's saying LOL Jesus, I think you guys got it. He's a madman because he's wearing a tank top. This isn't going to take forever.
Yeah.
Let me go back to
Yeah.
You know, are you using the period and comma keys to go 1 frame at a time?
yeah.
Because, you know, you can use the J and the L to go like 5, is it 5 seconds or 10 seconds? Arrow keys to the left and right go 5 seconds. J and L go 10 seconds. That's what
Oh,
it is.
it's just
So you can go either 10, 5,
just 2 tacos.
or frame by frame.
It's
Definitely.
I get
okay. I'll go frame by frame from here because it's so right. You guys see the madman to the left. I mean, it's the only thing they could be talking about. Nobody's doing anything crazy. Let me go back. So that must be what he's
Yeah.
talking about. That's the madman. The guy in the tank top and shorts at the Grub truck. I mean, I think that must be what she's talking about. So.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. So these are the 2 Xana quotes. These are debunking Xana was at the Grub truck. And I think from all of us that know about the information about Xana's alibi, most of us wouldn't assume she's there. However, people still do believe she's there. And this viewer put these 2 timestamps in because she thinks these were 2 separate people because it could possibly debunk this rumor. So there's timestamp 8 and timestamp 847. So.
Yeah. At the time I made this video, there was a lot of talk of people wondering if this was Xana.
Yeah, I
The thing
remember.
is I think if this truly was Xana, we would have heard about it by now. I was on a live stream with Kara once, and I know we talked about the TikTok post that never forget the foundation in the bathtub. She was unaware of that. She hadn't heard of that. But it seems like that would have been an opportunity where she would have mentioned, did you see they captured, final moments of Xana at the Grub truck? There was none of that, If anybody's going to, if I knew my kid there was some video that I didn't know about and it's the last video, I would definitely say something. It would have been out.
Yeah, no, but again, we're here to show people with their own eyes what they can see. And
Right.
so I believe if we're looking at this timestamp correctly, this would be, the girl in the Idaho sweatshirt right there would be who they're assuming is Xana. And I think what
No, I think
she's
I think it's a lighter. Well, every time there was about 3 or 4 or 5 times that I put close-ups, and I even put little words on the screen. Is this Xana? So I think you. Well, keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you're not at all. I'm absorbing what you're saying. She said timestamp 8 at 8 minutes. So I'm wondering, do you put the quotes about Xana at around this time, or is it?
Yeah.
No, I
don't
have a
remember.
$6 waiting for me. I would like to use it.
Awesome.
So she's saying she might be saying she thinks.
Let me
Like
turn
wondering
this
if
down. What'd you say?
She's saying that at 8. Well, actually, the person that I thought everybody's talking about is Xana. See, the light colored woman, this light colored girl that's next to the girl in the Idaho with the white purse around her arm. That girl with the long hair, kind of looking towards the camera, looking towards the Grub truck that's turning now. She's got kind of a long, light colored shirt.
Wait.
That's the one I believe that a lot of people were wondering if it was Xana. And there are many times in this video where I punch in for a close up.
That's
All right. Well,
Enon
let's look at
Harsh.
the other times. What was that? 12? What was that?
Is that
12?
Enon Harsh?
Gosh,
That's the
don't
guy that
start-
resembles Enon Harsh, I think.
There are just too many like clones in this video.
So 8:32 was the next one she had said, where you can kind of hear Xana's. Oh, you know what it was? I remember. We're doing the wrong thing. 8 a.m. Well, let's look at this thing again. One of them was her voice. So 8:47 is her silhouette, but at 8 a.m. the woman people think is Xana actually talks about Apple Pay, and her voice is very different. We were doing this incorrectly, guys. Let's go back to 8
Oh,
a.m.
I see. It's in the sound.
Right. Okay. We'll go back to like 7. Oh, whoops. Hello.
Do you guys ever see the nice things that Harsh from said about this Grub Truck video?
You told me in the last live stream that he
Yeah,
kind of gave you a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, I was just kind of joking around, but yeah, it was kind of like he mentioned Jeff H. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but it was pretty kind, and I totally unexpected that he, mentioned this video at all.
Yeah, he's a huge creator. That's pretty good that he shined the spotlight on you. That's very nice and very gracious. Wait,
And you made it in Chaos Sector's video before too.
When Jeff, when you were saying that about Xana, what I noticed when I backed this up is the girl in the lighter colored sweater is right there with her phone. You can see it in the bottom right hand corner because they're talking about Apple Pay. So I think you're right, 100% that they're talking about the girl in the light sweater. So I turned the volume all the way up. Let's see what we can hear.
Extra slot? Is that a charge? No, it's not a charge. It's just a modifier. Hello.
Yeah, I don't think that's her. All right, let's go to the next one, 8:47, and then we just have 3 more timestamps, and then I won't take you guys' entire night. Hold on.
Take it, just take it,
Right.
just sleep.
I like my brain is shot. I can't even remember what we're looking at. Okay, the silhouette is different in this timestamp. That's what we're looking at. All right, here we go.
Three? Come on, you're the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. So I have a chicken taco and 3 5-cheese mac and cheeses.
Yes.
Okay.
I've just looked at Xana's face for so long, and you can tell the curve of her face is totally different. That was a good comment, and it seems like Jeff, you honed in on that too, because you obviously did a close up right there. Oh. All right. What do we have next? All right, so I'm just gonna click on the timestamps, and I mean it's hard enough to go through all of these, so I have them all written down. Let's go to, I guess I don't. So we're gonna do 11:33 and 11:52, and that's when. Oh, that's when they ditch him. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, so back to 11:33. So other people said things about this. So this is what's going on. JS is pointing at them at 11:32, and Maddie's pointing right back at JS around 11:42. And at 11:52, she's saying something like "F you" to him. And Kaylee looks a little worried at that moment. I don't care if Ellie cleared JS and then it's just going into JS. So let's take a look at these timestamps, 33, 42, and 52. I'm just going to let it play until 12 minutes because they're all one after the other. I'll pause them on each one. So 11, 33.
Really good to not lose your wallet. Guys, fuck yeah, great ticket times. Honestly, like Luke, Tebow, really solid.
11:33. Pointing at Maddie. So we're just narrating this for you so you can see Jay pointing at Maddie. And then Maddie pointed back at him right after that.
Love it. Very
So,
pleased.
Joe,
All
how
right,
close are
we're
we
back
to
in.
you sitting down on like Friday nights?
I mean, that was a solid rush. It's a good thing that it ended, but
Cute.
this is Friday, Saturday in a row that got you down round one. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot, guys.
Guess who's gonna fucking need extra slot a second? This bad boy.
Tebow's thinking to
Good
himself,
frame to leave it on. And I mean, I just wanted to pause it on that frame just because it had a nice shot of Maddie and Kaylee. And I mean, I don't have any more timestamps. I'm sure after this we're gonna get a bunch more in the comments, but I just think for me, like this is, I hate to say it, but like if I was one of the victims, if I was one of the family members of the victims, I feel like this is just a beautiful moment that they have, you know, with their family that's caught on tape. So I'm just, you know, I'm just touched by it. The more I watch it, the one thing that comes away from me is just watching what beautiful friendships Maddie and Kaylee had. And I definitely think if I did take an observation that was correct, there definitely does seem to be like some sort of chemistry between Maddie and Jay, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just an observation. So anyway, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in conclusion to our Grub truck deep dive.
Yeah, go ahead, 12 gauge.
Oh, I thought she was asking the chat.
Oh, maybe she is. You asking the chat?
As far as the grub truck, I mean, I really haven't looked into it deep enough to really have any comments on it. I mean, I've seen Jeff's grub truck videos, and you know, I mostly just looked at the close-ups and stuff, and you really, I mean, I can't see anything that would give away anything that would be worthy of evidence, you know.
I haven't seen anything quite yet either. But if I was studying this from the beginning, I mean, I'd be looking at every angle of this grub truck if I didn't know what I know now. Anyway, your thoughts, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting that it's, you know, this moment in time is captured, and I guess you can look at it, you know, one of two ways. Like, oh man, we're so fortunate to have this footage of them just, you know, doing what they were doing that night and having, like you say, living their best life, having a good time. You get to hear what, you know, it's a nicer thought of when you think of somebody that's, you know, being put to death or something, that's their last meal. That's a negative thinking about a last meal. But this is two friends. You hear what they're ordering. You hear Kaylee try to use her points, I guess, but she didn't have enough points to use to. You know, it's just a really nice moment between them. And but then I guess you can look at it and say, well, these just like somebody that works in like the security at a department store. It's like you're checking the cameras. Oh, this looks like a mother and daughter shopping for, you know, Christmas presents. But you look a little closer, then you say, oh wait, they're shoplifting. She's putting stuff in her bag, you know. So you know, you got to kind of look at it with eyes that are see it for what it initially looks like. But I don't see anything wrong with looking a little deeper to see if there's anything else. Of course, I think I do have limits, so I won't go too far. Actually, what do you guys think of when the guy that takes the orders, he is talking to somebody that has, I guess, made a comment or asked a question on the Twitch stream, on the computer screen he's looking at, and he says people have fallen,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot of people comment and saying, "Oh, that's referring to the four." My gut,
Right here at
and then
it's 142.21. Just if anyone wants to say, I think.
is that where he says?
Oh
that?
wait, no, 158.18 is where he says it. Yeah, it was one of the comments. We just didn't get to it. So
Do you want to play that, or?
yeah, let me
Yeah.
play that. All right.
I mean, I have a theory of what's that means, but
Oh, good. Oh no, this is great. Oh, wait a second. This doesn't go to 1 hour. Like it's in your other one.
oh yeah, well, yeah. Well, there's the full one that was the entire full Twitch stream, and then there's this one that is really just kind of focusing on the time that Maddie and Kaylee are there.
And we're starting with a line tonight, so everyone.
Hey, what's up?
4 points. Let's go.
Pork taco, go.
Jeff, how do I skip forward 10 seconds?
Yeah, the J and the L. The K in the middle is pause. So that's a video editors use that all the time to go backwards and forwards.
Okay, well, this is exactly 11 seconds beforehand. So let me hit it one more time. Okay, there we go. We're perfect.
No.
Nope. You don't want anything? You sure you don't want anything?
Just tell her.
Okay.
Oh.
Somebody wants to
75.
food to you. Give you free food.
Have a good
From
night.
the live
I'm not gonna
stream.
pass it up.
Yeah, they said does that girl in the white jacket want food? And they said she cute.
Well, thank you. Her boyfriend's over there.
Her boyfriend's over there. They
So I
said.
mean, I'll still take your food.
Jeff, is this the right thing?
No, it would be no, because it's the other guy. The other guy is the
Yeah, the other
at the
guy.
cash register.
Am I on the right video? Do you think I'm on the wrong video?
Well, I mean, it's one or the other. If you've got a timestamp, if it's not the one, it doesn't go to the right place, and maybe it is the other one.
But the
What-
other
what
one.
is the timestamp?
158.18. Oh, I am. I'm way too. Well, I played it. Let's go back. We'll go right before 158.18.
Or maybe they're referring to the time that I put in the bottom corner of that other video.
Oh, you're right, Jeff. OMG. Let me
That's
go
like
back.
the actual time of the night.
Yep, slide down more. Okay, so that's a good spot. Says,
yeah.
get yourselves a beer. What was that? All right, guys.
Let's go. Okay. All right. So 158.18. Let me use the. Okay, we're going to use the L. Okay, L. Here we go. This is 158.12. So this is, 6 seconds beforehand, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, I know. I got one cheese sauce left. Or what's that partial with that? What's a partial in there? Okay. Okay, thank you. Did you put the last bag in?
Well, Jeff, it'll be a good timestamp for us to go over, but why don't you go on with what you were saying? So a lot of people think that in this timestamp we're searching for the Grub truck order taker says many have
People
fallen.
have fallen. Yeah.
And you have a theory on what you think it
Yeah, no, my
actually-
theory was that, where my mind first went is that, this is a Grub truck. A lot of people out here, maybe intoxicated, standing outside in the cold, in the freezing cold. And is it possible that somebody on the Twitch stream has said, when it's snowing and icy out there, has anybody ever slipped, these people are watching from Twitch or watching all these people acting up, the guys or the girls lifting the guy with the sweater, all this kind of stuff. I mean, that's my thought, is that somebody just asked the question, has anybody ever slipped and fallen out in front of your Grub truck and gotten injured or, So that's where my
He's
mind
seeing
went. That was
many
it's just a guess, but you know.
That's a good guess. I mean, there's also a lot of people that are coming out after the club and parties, so they could have fallen from just falling too.
Yeah.
And I thought this
but
was
does it mean that he's like cluing into somebody like, okay, we've unalived 2 of them and the other 2 should be back at 112 soon, so stay tuned, it'll be 4. I just don't see that guy being involved in something like that. Is it, hey, are you guys of any interest in seeing the nice things that Harsh Reality did say? Because I found the video clip. Can I show it?
Of course you can. But before you do, I just want to read these 2 comments while I have the thought. I just want to put this out there because I hadn't heard of this before. They deleted the chat from the original Grub truck, and then my mod had asked, I wonder why they deleted it. And I mean, I'm just saying, food for thought. The chat was deleted.